Hello people of YouTube, welcome to yet another edition of the One Piece Saga reviews, and you might be saying to yourself, what's with the hat? Let me quickly explain this. I was in a Sweet 16 one day, and I found this hat, and I'm like, me and this hat connected, I'm keeping the hat, and they allowed me to keep it, so now every time I'm going to mention One Piece, the hat is coming on as like a symbol of Luffy's straw hat, aka Mugiwaga. So every time you're going to see this hat, you automatically should know we're talking about One Piece. And that's exactly what this video is going to be about. The third edition of the One Piece Saga review. I know it took a while. I had to do a few little things, little nicks and knacks, but you know, I'm finally able to do it. So here we go. Part 3, which is the Skypiea arc. And I'm gonna go through this really quick because nothing really special about this arc. Basically, one day Luffy and the basically what happened was Nami noticed Nami has this thing called a log post, and for some and it basically points to the direction that they wanted to go to the Grand Line. So one day, the log post points up, and basically there's an island in the sky. So they go to this island called Jaya, and then they meet, a few interesting characters. One being Bellamy, who's supposed to be like this little fucker that you're supposed to hate. And I didn't really hate the guy. It's just that, oh, I think dreams are over. Like, no, bitch. Dreams are never done. There's still One Piece. One Piece is still out there. Right, son? So then, one day, they decided, well, why the hell not? We're going to Sky Island. So then, they decided to go straight up to the sky. So what happened one day is that they have this huge exploding sea. Like, the sea, like, legit, the sea, like, skyrockets up. It was so insane. So then they decided, what the hell? We're going to go to Sky Island, and we're going to have a fun time. And they did have a fun time. But then, like, right when they got there, they automatically became criminals because they didn't decide to pay fee to enter to Sky Island. So, things got a little carried away. But to a point when they became God's enemy. That's right. So they became God's enemy, and Luffy's like, no, I want to fight God. So Luffy fights God, Enel, or Neru, and Luffy wins, duh, and they leave Sky Island, and then after they leave Sky Island, they decide, what the hell, we're going to rebuild the Going Merry. And if you remember the Going Merry is their ship that they decide to take along their voyage across the Grand Line. And the ship was in dire straits. The ship was completely destroyed, being hit with icebergs, cannon fire, burned. Basically anything that you could possibly think of happened to the Going Merry, and to the point where, look, we need to fix this ship ASAP. So they actually took gold, like actual gold. Sky Island had a lot of gold, so they took some gold from Sky Island, and they were like, okay, with all this gold, we can actually repair the ship. So they decide, okay, so we're gonna go to this place called Water 7, and oh, by the way, I should mention, at the end of the Alabasta arc, Nico Robin, which is Miss Sunday, I think her name is, which is her code name. But anyway, Nico Robin joins the crew. Unofficially, I should say. I'm gonna get to that. So, she basically joins the crew. So one day, they decide to dock on this island real quick, and they meet one of the admirals, the actual admirals of the Marines. There's 3 admirals. There's Akoiji, which is the Iceman, which they meet in the island where they're at. There's Kizaru, and I can never say this guy's name correctly, Akainu. Akainu, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But then, to a point where Luffy tries to fight Akoiji, the Iceman, which is one of the admirals of the Marines. So they fought, automatically lost, Nico Robin was frozen, Luffy was frozen, and a few days later, after they were thawed out, because Akoiji decided just to spare their lives, they decide, what the hell, we need to really go forth and repair the Going Merry. So they decided to go to Water 7, which is basically what it sounds like. There's a lot of water. It's basically like an island made of water, and it's like, how should I describe it? Okay, it's like the DWMA of One Piece. Alright, get it? It's like a huge little triangle, like triangle pyramid style island. It was pretty intense. How that thing looked. It looked really fucking sick. I actually like the design of Water 7. So then, they cashed the gold. They gave the gold that they had to the bank, and they had over 300 million bellies. And they're like, oh shit, we got all this money, son. And Luffy's this dumbass, it's just, Luffy's a freaking idiot at times. And he's like, we got 300 million bellies! And Nami and Usopp was right there to him, so they decided, shut the fuck out. And so to a point where, okay, we have the money, let's go to the docks and repair the ship. Okay, so they go to the docks, or to this repairing thing, when they meet several individuals that work for the I think they're called the Galela Company, and with connections with this man called Iceberg, which is like the head of operations of Water 7. He's basically the mayor, the well-liked spokesperson, the head architect of Galela and Water 7. So after they meet these characters, they find out that the Going Merry cannot be rebuilt. And yeah, the ship was completely damaged, that it could not be rebuilt. So then, at one point, they decided that you had to get a new ship because the Going Merry is in dire strait. And Usopp, being the person that basically gave them the ship, was like, no, we can't get rid of the Going Merry. He's part of our friends. To a point where Luffy and Usopp had a huge fight, and that caused Usopp to leave the group. Holy shit. And keep in mind, Usopp was like Luffy's best friend. So, seeing those two having a huge fight and argument over a ship was kind of sad. And it really hurt. Like, I closed my eyes for the entire fight. Like, I didn't want to see it. Because it was so emotional and so impactful that I almost closed my eyes throughout the entire fight. It was so hard to watch because they were just two good friends, and they were fighting, and So on the other side, it's about Robin. So on one side you have about the Going Merry, and the other side you have about Robin, on how Robin attempted to commit a murder by Iceberg, again the head architect of Water 7. To a point when they blamed the Straw Hats, because keep in mind Robin was traveling with the Straw Hats. So, I guess you can see where this is going from. They were automatically marked as criminals. And since they couldn't use the Going Merry to sail away from Water 7, they couldn't escape Water 7. So then it goes to a point where Robin gets kidnapped. And, and then just oh, by the way, this huge plot twist happens in the anime that, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. So to a point where Robin gets kidnapped, basically. But Robin did what she did. In order to help Luffy and his gang. That's exactly what happened. She did it, just tried to help the Straw Hats. And Luffy's like, no. She's my friend. I'ma save her ass. So that's exactly what he did. So he got on a sea train to supposedly this judicial branch of the world government called Enies Lobby. So they go to Enies Lobby, and they're like, we're going to save you, Robin. And Robin's all like, no, you can't. I want to die. But then Luffy's like, oh yeah, no, you can't die. You're my friend. So we're like, oh, I want to live now. Yay. It's like that whole saga. But it was so impactful. Also, yeah, there's another side to this story. It's about Frankie. Frankie being their new a shipwright. He was basically because his past and his story was explained to Frankie wanting to build his dream ship, and Robin And you get to learn a lot about Robin. And let me tell you something, Robin has the most saddest past known to man. I legit cried when I heard about her past. You'll probably cry too. You know, next to, Nami had like the second saddest past. Robin's like number 1. Alright? And hearing about Frankie's past, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't really sad, but I mean, hell, it was something. I mean, it was, you know, and you kind of had to feel bad for Frankie. Because all he wanted to do was build his dream ship, but then his dream ship was being used against him. That caused his friends to die, and it was pretty sad. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that happen in this arc, or in this saga. Okay, so going near the end of the saga, Luffy and his gang, the Straw Hat Pirates, decides to save Robin and get her out of MES lobby, and that's exactly what he did. And Usopp is disguised as the King of Snipers. Don't get me started on that. But overall, to basically sum this saga up in one word, it's like freaking insane. This saga was so impactful and so emotional that I had to give this saga a proper review that it deserves. One Piece Water 7 Saga deserves a fucking 9, bro. It was without a doubt a great saga. Alright? Not knowing, you get to learn a lot about Robin as a character. And let me tell you, again, I cannot stress this enough, I love Robin. I cannot express that enough. I absolutely love her. Frankie, I enjoyed him as a character. He's one of the most sort of well developed. I mean, he used to hate Luffy. Now he's a part of his crew. And by the way, at the end of the saga, Frankie decides to build them the Straw Hat's dream ship, the Thousand Sunny, and it's so cool. It has like a laser cannon, and it's even a soar through the sky. It's pretty fucking awesome. And then at the end, of course, Usopp rejoins the crew because, and the Going Merry dies. I know, I basically had to sum up the entire saga. And you know, it's a mouthful, these sagas, let me tell you. But next saga, I'm going to try to explain it properly. Because the next saga, the next saga is Thriller Bark. It's about Brook. And, he had you know, that arc was like, I don't know whether to feel about that arc. But then again, I thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for part 4 of the One Piece Saga review. Till then, I'll see you later.